So you're asking whether you should build a big project while you're learning using AI?
Y- Yeah.
Making a big game using AI, I don't think AI is an excuse to make a big game, right? Because AI helps us a lot.
Yeah.
But just because the tool allows you to code fast does not mean that the scope should grow with it. So if you want to produce a bigger game because AI exists, you really got to check yourself because that's reacting to the tool. Like just because I bought a
Mm.
chainsaw does not mean all of a sudden I should start sawing every tree down and trying to build chairs out of everything, right? I'm not suddenly becoming a chair dealer just because I have gotten a chainsaw and have more horsepower. Same thing with AI, right? So I have AI. I have to use that to make simple games still because simple games allow you to get them out faster. A complicated game, like Josh was thinking about making a dungeon crawler, I had to tell him, hey man, you might want to step back from that idea just a little bit because it's complex and you're new and we're trying to make something quick for
Yeah.
this video too. So when you're making a game, like don't let AI make you think that I should increase the scope because that just turns into scope creep. If you're trying to make a complex game, did you say you're like while you're learning, especially if you're learning, right? You're asking if you should do that while
Yes.
you're learning. That is even more reason to keep the scope small. You're better off making simple games first. And I believe me, I made that mistake a lot of times, even recently, trying to make way too complicated of a game. And then the game gets very big or it doesn't get out at all because the size and the scope is just expanding and expanding and
It's
expanding and
too
expanding.
big.
Yeah. So it's the same thing across the board, man. And it doesn't change whether you're using AI or not, especially if you're learning or early in your career. Yeah, you want to start with simple games first. Don't make the next Slime RNG or Jailbreak before you're ready. RoBuilder said, dream games turn into nightmares fast. Don't get too big for your britches. Absolutely. Like, passion is good, but passion uncontrolled becomes bad for you very quickly. Like, that's half my channel. Just like, have control of your passion. Don't let it control you. That's really the point of what I say in my videos. And it was back in the day, it was very controversial. There'd even be like tweets with like 2,000 likes. Like there was one like trying to roast the video, do not follow your passion as a developer, which is that title a bit extreme? Maybe, but in a way, really what I'm trying to say is that passion is good, but you shouldn't just follow it blindly. Like you shouldn't just let it control every action you do. Like we got to have some rational strategies for this too. Like let's make simple games first. Like I've seen countless people try to make a complicated dream game before they're ready. Like let's just step back for a second and try to make a simulator or an obby or a tycoon or a kick a lucky block type game. Something basic before we move on to a dream game. Like I know Robuilder was making My Bike Life, and that's a very big dream game. But I don't know. And I'll let him speak on that. But it might have prevented him from getting out other games in the process. Not that making a dream game is bad, but it is an opportunity cost, and it makes it so that 5 games that could have released could have been put out there, but they don't actually end up hitting the market because you're working on this one project that may or may not see the light of day. Or it does, and now everything, all your chips have been put into one pile, one round, and now you're betting your entire career on one project, which is a really risky thing to do early on before you have money, before you have players, before you have attention, and so on.